one of the weirdest things you learn about losing weight is that you can be like, you could just be doing everything right, like you're supposed to, and then you take a day where you're like, I'm just gonna eat, like a cheat day. You take a cheat day, like you just eat a bunch of junk because you're just like craving all this stuff and you just can't help it anymore, and because you need to rest from the regular workouts. And it's funny because like on those days, like that, the day after that, because you're during that day, you're feeling, oh man, I must have probably gained so much because I ate so much candy, junk food, chips, all this stuff, whatever it is that you do, McDonald's, whatever it is. And then the next day you lose a tremendous amount of weight despite, just going loose with it. You just, boom, all that weight's gone. And I have no idea exactly why that is sometimes, other than the fact that you are actually working out. You're like 5 to 7 days a week otherwise from that day in a calorie deficit, somewhere between 200 to 2,000 or even 3,000 calorie deficit a day. And so then you get that day where you finally just like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat, and might be in a calorie surplus somewhere between 500 to maybe 1,000, 1,500 surplus for that day. And then suddenly, boom, just like the pounds just come right off. And again, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I feel like what part of it is that your body actually does need, some of the stuff that's in that food that you're eating, or maybe it's a little bit more than that, but your body needs something, or a whole lot of things that you're just not getting from your regular diet, and it needs it on that day. Now, it doesn't need it the other days. It's not like, it's not like an imbalancing where you just had a balance and you fixed the balance. No, it's just now the time to get those things in your body, and you need it all now. So you're not you're overeating, but you're not really overeating because your body needs something. At least this, I'm just guessing here. I'm not saying this is like scientific research or anything, but just like by feeling it out and having this occur so many times over the last 9 months, what I think is that your body needs something, or a whole bunch of somethings in a certain kind of way. And then once it gets that, it's able to say, okay, now I got everything I need. You get a good rest. As long as you get a good rest at night, I'm going to really start reorganizing this body up. Like it's reshelving books in a library. And then bam, it completely, just lets it all gone. It just reorganizes, your waistline or whatever is actually legitimately smaller by an inch or something, overnight. And you cut off like at least 1 or 2 kilograms. Depends on exactly what it was. Now, of course, some of that's going to be water weight. But yeah, just suddenly your body just like transforms overnight like that after a day where you just completely bust your gut eating just all the junk food in the world or whatever. And I really think it's because your body, again, my whole guess with that, just by going off of just really trying to have that, that observation, logical thinking, but also that like empathy that you have when you actually start treating your body right for a long period of time consistently. I think it's because your body either partially needs the comfort, but partially needs some kind of combination and amounts of stuff that you're typically not giving yourself, and you only need it that day. You don't need the other days. You just need it that day. And your body's like, okay, now I got exactly what I need to do this recomp, and then it recomps, and boom, a whole lot of progress. But it's just funny because, like, man, I just ate a whole bunch of chips, and instead of gaining weight, you just lost a whole lot. Visually you look different. On the tape measure you look different. On the scale you are different. And it's just boom, a whole lot of things just happen overnight, so long as you get that good rest. And so I feel like that's what it is. I feel like it really is just like your body's just like, okay, I got that little extra thing I need on the right day that I needed it, and then now I'm going to reshelve all the books on the bookshelf. I'm reshelving this whole damn library here, and then boom. So yeah, of course, you lose the way you experience these things, on the other days too. It's not like it only happens on this day, but it's one of the funny things I noticed. And so Jordan Reed signing out with this one.